Ever get that feeling like the universe is just too well put together?
Yeah, too elegant.
Like the laws of physics, they're so symmetrical. It's like someone just went all out with the math, you know?
Right, like it's all just too perfect.
What if, and bear with me here, what if that's not an accident? What if the universe isn't just described by math? What if it is math?
Whoa, okay, I see where you're going with this.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into that mind-bending idea
This is going to be good.
with physicist Max Tegmark and his paper, The Mathematical Universe.
Yeah, he starts off kind of sneaky, with this external reality hypothesis.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that there's a world out there even when we're not looking.
Okay, so like common sense, most of us assume that, right? Close your eyes, the world's still there.
Right, exactly. But then he hits you with it.
The it being,
If that's true about external reality, it kind of forces you to accept something way more radical.
hit me with it.
The Mathematical Universe Hypothesis. MUH for short. Catchy.
Right, so MUH, break it down for me.
Basically, it says that reality, like at the most basic level, isn't made of stuff.
Not stuff. Then what? Like energy fields, pure thought.
Nope, even weirder. Mathematical structures.
Hold on, I need to sit down for this. So not atoms, not quarks, we're talking like equations, geometric shapes as the building blocks of reality.
Exactly. The idea is that any description of reality, any scientific theory, we're just translating this underlying math into, human terms.
So it's like we're trying to describe a symphony to someone who's deaf. We can talk about vibrations, air pressure, but the music itself.
The music is the math. The relationships between the notes, that's the core of it. And that's why Tegmark argues that math, it's the only truly, baggage-free language.
Baggage-free.
Yeah, it doesn't rely on how we experience the world, our senses, our brains, none of that.
Okay, I'm starting to see the logic, but I need an example. This is getting kind of out there.
He uses a simple one, addition modulo 2.
Now you're just using big words to sound smart.
No, I swear, it's simpler than it sounds. It's even and odd numbers.
Oh, like two even numbers added together always get you another even number.
Exactly.
This.
Even plus odd, always odd. But here's the thing. That pattern, it exists whether we use the words even, odd,
Or if we use symbols instead.
or clapped our hands twice for even, once for odd. The math is the constant thing, not how we express it.
So the MUH, it's saying that kind of pattern, it's more real than the words or symbols. Reality is like patterns all the way down.
That's the heart of it. And what's wild is this idea, it's not totally new. Physics has kind of been hinting at this all along.
Wait, really? Give me an example.
Think about Newton's laws of motion, right?
Yeah.
Elegant equations. Then Einstein, boom, general relativity. Gravity's all about curved spacetime.
So we keep finding more math the deeper we go.
Like the universe wants to be described by these elegant equations.
Which brings up a big question, why so much symmetry in the first place? I get that physicists like symmetry, it makes things neat.
Sure, but the MUH flips that, see? It's not that we like symmetry, it's that the universe is inherently symmetrical at its core, and we're just reflecting that in our theories.
So it's not that we're forcing the universe to be elegant. The elegance is a clue.
A clue to the mathematical structure underneath it all. And then that makes you wonder, is it just math that likes symmetry?
You're blowing my mind here. So are symmetrical structures just more likely, mathematically? Or is there something else going on, some reason why the universe would pick those?
See, these are the questions, and trust me, it gets even weirder. If the universe is this unchanging math, then what about time? What about free will?
Okay, so we're picturing the universe like this giant structure of math, right? But here's where I get a little lost. If it's all just math, this unchanging structure, what happened to the beginning, the Big Bang, all that?
Yeah, that's the head scratcher. The MUH really messes with our idea of time itself. Like, we're so used to thinking of the universe like a movie, right? There's the start, the present moment happening, the future's still to come.
Rewind far enough, you get to that big explosion, boom, the Big Bang. It's like the ultimate origin story.
And if the universe is purely mathematical, there's no rewind button, no initial conditions to set things off.
You're saying there's no separate starting point.
The whole timeline, from our point of view, past, present, future, it's all just part of the structure, already there in a way.
So the universe isn't really evolving or changing like we normally think. It just is.
That's the idea. Time becomes like another dimension within the structure, not a flow from A to B, you see.
Okay, trying to picture that. It's like one of those tapestries, right? Each thread is an event, a moment.
And we experience those threads one by one. But the whole tapestry, it already exists. Time is kind of an illusion of our perspective.
All right, I'm getting a headache just trying to imagine that. But if that's the case, the whole timeline's already there, then what about free will? Random chance, all that. Seems like everything's already decided in this math universe.
That's the big question, right? If the MUH is true, then what we think of as random, like flipping a coin, even the uncertainty in quantum physics,
My terrible life choices totally predetermined.
it might be that our limited viewpoint makes it seem random, but it's all part of the larger structure.
Okay, so like imagine a giant equation, right, with a billion different parts. You zoom in on one tiny section,
Looks chaotic, unpredictable.
but zoom out, it's all determined by the rest of the equation.
Exactly. Our sense of free will, of randomness, it could just be because we don't see the full picture.
Let's shift gears for a sec, though. This whole predetermined thing is harshing my mellow. Let's talk parallel universes. Because if we're buying this universe as math idea, multiverse is almost a given, yeah.
Right. If reality is all the possible math structures, why would ours be the only one?
So not just one universe, but like a whole bunch of them. Each one with its own set of mathematical rules, some probably boring, but others.
Could be wildly different dimensions, laws of physics, you name it. Tegmark even talks about different levels of multiverses.
Okay, see, now even I'm thinking this is getting a bit out there. And I know Tegmark has his critics, right? Like, how do you even test this? Any universe you can think of as possible, doesn't that make it untestable?
That's a valid point. But even if we can't directly see those other universes, the MUH changes how we think about the big questions. Like, maybe we're not looking for the theory of everything for our universe.
We're looking for the theory of all universes, the math that makes the multiverse tick.
Now you're getting it. It's a huge shift, but it might unlock the biggest mysteries we've got.
Okay, so we've gone from the universe as this giant tapestry to, like, a multiverse of spreadsheets.
We've been on quite the journey.
But there's one more layer to this whole math universe thing I got to ask about. This idea that we might be living in a simulation? Like, what does Tegmark say about that?
Oh yeah, the simulation hypothesis gets everyone freaked out. But the MUH, it actually makes it even weirder, I think.
How so? Because if reality's like information at its core math, then it's not that crazy to think that info's running on some giant computer somewhere, right?
That's what people usually picture, yeah. But the MUH, it kind of changes that image.
Yeah.
We think of simulations running in real time. Right. Like some computer somewhere is deciding what we do next, moment by moment.
Please tell me I'm not the only one who's looked at their phone lagging and been like, oh no, reality's buffering.
You and everyone else on Earth probably. But the MUH is saying if it is a simulation, it's not like that. It's more like that spreadsheet we talked about. Already there, the whole thing.
So no one's playing SimUniverse up there, messing with our lives.
It's more like they hit run a long, long time ago, and the math just does its thing. We're along for the ride, but the ride's already planned out.
Okay, that's somehow less stressful to think about, but also kind of makes you feel less important, you know?
Right. But it gets weirder. Tegmark takes this even further with the Computable Universe Hypothesis, CUH.
We've had MUH, we've had ERH, now CUH. You physicists love your acronyms.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah.
But CUH, it says the universe isn't just any math structure. It's got to be one that could be, like, calculated by a computer, theoretically.
So no, like, infinite complexities that would make a computer explode.
Exactly. There are rules, even within math, limits to what kind of universe is possible.
See, that's almost comforting in a way. It's not just anything goes.
And it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Our universe, it seems to have rules, laws of physics, not just random chaos.
So maybe that's a clue, too, to the nature of the code, so to speak. The fact that it can be understood, at least partly, by us.
Exactly. We might never know it all, but even glimpsing the structure of reality, that's kind of amazing.
Well, I started this deep dive thinking the universe might be math. And now my brain is a pretzel. A very intrigued pretzel, but still.
That's the fun of it, though, right?
Oh.
These big questions make you see things differently.
For sure. And to everyone listening, we want to know what you think. Does the math universe idea, does it blow your mind, scare you? Let us know. Maybe you'll inspire the next deep dive. Until then, keep those brains questioning, folks.